So I'm Jack. I live in London quite locally. I'm quite posh, as probably most of you have already gauged. Don't need shit for it though. You get quite a lot of stick for being posh, but you know, it's like I always say, sticks and stones may break my bones. But whatever, I'm with Booper. I am posh. I'm not like right wing though. Not prejudice. Not homophobic. Well, I guess I'm homophobic in the same sense that I'm arachnophobic. I'm not scared of spiders. I'm not scared of gays. Though I would probably scream if I saw one in my bath. I'm young. I'm not like one of the, your regular youth, I guess. Because people are afraid of young people now, aren't they? And I'm afraid of young people as well. But I forget what I'm meant to be afraid of. Because it seems to change with young people. If you read the tabloids, like 1 minute you get it's the young people because it's like knife crime and gun crime, hoodies, ASBOs, they're going to stab you, all of that stuff. Next minute, they're all fat and they're overweight and it's the obesity epidemic. And I'm confused. I don't know what I'm meant to be scared of anymore. I'm worried to walk down the street lest I'm attacked by a fat kid with a knife and a fork. I want to stay fit. I want to be good at things like fitness and health. I want to be healthy. But I've never been good at it, you know? Even when I was at school, I hated PE. I hated PE so much at school. Mainly because of my PE teacher. He was a complete arsehole. His name was Mr. Walton. He was from South Africa. And he was a lumbering hulk of protein shake and unresolved childhood issues, which he took out on me every week. He was horrible to me. He humiliated me every lesson, right? And I remember one class, right, okay? He tried to get us to do a bleep test, which I refused to do because we weren't living in Nazi Germany. Ironically, an environment in which he would have thrived. And he was shouting at me, pushing me, trying to embarrass me and humiliate me. I'm quite a sensitive soul. I couldn't hack it. Eventually, I flipped. He was like, go on, Jack, push yourself now, embrace the burn. Look at my body, Jack. How do you think I got to where I am today? I don't know, oppressing black people. He thought he was a motivator. He thought the stuff that he was saying was inspirational to the children. It wasn't. It was psychotic. And it never made any sense as well. I remember once, right, we were playing basketball and just in the middle of the game, he blew his whistle and in front of everyone just shouted at me, the problem with you, Jack, is you're all fart on their poo. Well, when I fart, I follow through and sometimes there's blood. But I tried at school, I just could never do very well. But I always think, right, if you weren't very good at school, there's always one thing that everyone that wasn't good at school can hold on to. And we need to hold on to this. And that is that at every school, all over the world, in every class, there was always that person that was better than everyone else, yeah? That got into all the sports teams, that was in the school play, that had a girlfriend. Mr. Perfect. You can hold on to the fact that, yeah, they were Mr. Perfect at school and everyone resented them and they were so great, but in later life, Mr. Perfect will have made his mistakes. He will have screwed things up. And now, with Facebook, you can find the bastard. You can hunt him down and look at his photographs and realise, yeah, you were Mr. Perfect at school, but now someone's put on a little bit of weight, now someone's lost their job and they're sleeping in the back of their car, so screw you, Robbie Westlake. And it's not just them. You can also find people that didn't want to have sex with you at school, that rejected you at school because they were better than you at school. And you can find them on Facebook as well. And you can hunt them down and look through their photographs and do what us perverts like to refer to as the revenge.
We've got people from Holby, haven't we? We've got Hugh Quashie. Where's Hugh? Hugh, how you doing? You're a fantastic actor. You've been in RSC and everything. You've been in Holby for a long time, right? So I have a theory that if someone had a heart attack over here, we could whisk you over and just suck all of the drama out of the situation. We had the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow this year. A great choice of venue. A place where people think that hepatitis B is a vitamin. I don't really trust these big sporting occasions, you know. The Olympics, a lot of that stuff is just for rich people. Dressage, yachting. I don't remember that at school. Yachting tomorrow, class, so remember, bring in your boats. A lot of people found the Paralympics inspiring. I just found it depressing. I can't throw a discus and I've got arms. Oscar Pistorius. Pistorius to me sounds like a spell that Harry Potter would say to make your legs drop off. When he gets out of jail, his next girlfriend is going to get ready in a hurry. I thought you were running a bath. No, I just threw some dungarees on. Let's go. I hope a jail bully steals his legs, walks about being 9'6". I don't like the Commonwealth, because the Commonwealth is the old British Empire. It's called the Commonwealth because Britain stole all those countries' wealth and then went, come on. The whole empire was founded on cocaine. Everybody was on cocaine. The remedies had cocaine in them. Queen Victoria was on cocaine. And not the shit you take. You've never done a line and gone, let's invade India. We had the referendum up in Scotland that was won by the No campaign and Alistair Darling. I thought it'd be good if when he won, Alistair Darling's eyebrows had finally turned into butterflies. And he wasn't even able to look surprised about it. David Beckham sent the people of Scotland an open letter. An open letter because he couldn't work out how to get it into the envelope. People said during the campaign that I was anti-English. I couldn't be more pro-English. I thought the best thing for independence would have been if England had won the World Cup. Because you would have been so unbearable that we would have to leave. Whatever happens next, I think it's important that Scotland does something that puts England on the back foot, something that England won't expect. And the last thing that you're expecting is for us to form an Islamic caliphate. Ah yes, independent Scotland, we can do this.
I used to be not exactly ashamed of my blackness, but I never wanted to do anything that could be seen as stereotypically black, and it followed me all my life. So when I was younger, when I was at school, if I was ever in PE and a basketball would come flying at top speed towards my face, instead of catching that basketball in the air, dribbling it towards the nearest net and slam dunking the thing, as I naturally would, I just let it hit me in the face and roll away. When I got older, I made a lot of friends, mainly white friends, and we started going to the club. Are you familiar with the club? Not the club, the club. At the end of the street. Whenever I went to the club and I was dancing with a group of friends, I would deliberately dance less well on purpose. So that the white people wouldn't be intimidated. There'd always be one other black person in the corner of the room, arms folded, looking at me like, you're disrespecting yourself. When meanwhile, I'll be in the middle of the dance floor just moving like Miley Cyrus. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to pass as white. I did all the white things. I bought pesto. I said tissue. And I got really dangerously into Jamie T. I am talking about the era of Jamie T, Pete Doherty, Jack Pignati, Jedward. I spent my late teens, arguably the sexiest part of one's teens, just sort of lusting over these gurning predators. Like, imagine more me, you'll be at a house party with an edgy white boy and he'd have the whole edgy boy starter kit. He'd have the skinny jeans, rolly fag, unacceptable BO. He'd be talking always about one of his two favourite subjects, which is always either dubstep or himself. And you're sitting on the windowsill and finally you'd pluck up the courage to just cut him off mid-anecdote, put your hand on his shoulder, look him in the eye and be like, mate, I love you. And then he'd look at you and you'd look at him, and you'd lean in for a kiss, and then he'd just sort of thumb MDMA into your mouth. And that was it. You were like, wow! I think he really likes me. Oh my God, white guys. I spent half my life lusting after unsuitable white guys. Have we got any white guys in? Come on, guys, cheer louder. We know how much you get paid. Of course you white guys are here because you are everywhere. You're in the White House, you're in the big banks, you're in all the fancy court cases, you're killing it. Sometimes literally. But I don't want anyone to think I'm having a go because I genuinely adore white guys. Love your work. Ed Sheeran, amazing. I haven't got anything against white men apart from, obviously, everything it is that they've done. Some of my best friends are white men. My mother is a white man.
Incredible to think, isn't it? But the Chinese language started off as English in England. Then one person whispered it to another person. Bit of a weird day today. I found a hole in the back of my wardrobe. I went through to a strange and mysterious land where my neighbor was sitting in the bath. What else can I tell you about myself? I like my tea, like my women. Big, black, and with a penguin. Obviously, I'm Caucasian. Yes, my mum's from a city in Ireland and my dad's Japanese. Couldn't sleep last night. I was too hot. Then the smoke alarm went off. Put it on snooze. Then the phone went off. Picked it up, a voice said, "Can you speak?" I said, "How did you think this conversation was going to work?" And I recognized the voice of my mother, the very woman who taught me to speak in the first place. She said, "Listen, it's your dad." I said, "That is the worst impression." Do you ever have a conversation with someone and towards the end they say, "Well, I'll let you go"? You think, "Yeah, thanks." "Oh, I see what you're saying. You're trying to make me think that you think that I've got better things to do." In reality, you're saying that you've got better things to do. Well, next time someone says to you, "I'll let you go," say, "No." Shut the door. If they make a sudden dive for the window, grab them by their ankles. As they're dangling 4 stories over the car park, screaming, "This has all been a terrible mistake." Say, "Okay, I'll let you go." So it turns out, not all horses are Trojan horses. I know that now. That was a messy afternoon. Health and safety, that's a minefield, isn't it? Don't tell them. I used to work in IKEA, selling over 7,000 different items. Give me a number between 1 and 7,000, I'll tell you about it. 8, sorry, out of stock. Well, it's not easy traveling around all the time, being on the road. Oh no. The AA, RAC, green flag, Don't get me started.
I've got a good relationship with me mum. Sometimes in comedy you laugh at things because it's familiar, because it's a shared experience. Sometimes you laugh because you're just glad you're not me. See if this has happened to anybody else. Whenever I'm on the phone to me mum, it always makes me need a poo. Give us a woo if that's happened to you. See, I've looked into it. It's a closeness issue. It means that me and those people who wooed, we love our mums more than the rest of you lot love yours. I love my mum so much it makes me shit. Try getting that on a balloon for Mother's Day. Thank God for Moonpig. But I bought a house quite recently. I wanted to buy a house because I'd lived in flats for 16 years and I really missed going upstairs to bed. Not through the kitchen, upstairs to bed. But I was sitting only a few months later upstairs in bed, quite smugly, just thinking, this is the life. I've arrived. I'm upstairs in bed. And then I thought, oh no, now I've got to go downstairs for food. What I really wanted, like my parents have both always lived near a park and I'd always been able to see a tree out of my bedroom window, so that became a priority. When I was house hunting, I wanted to be able to see a tree out of my bedroom window. But it became very clear that I'm not massively suited to country living, having lived in the city centre for so long. I drove along a lovely country lane, and I saw a white marquee tent. And instead of thinking, oh, somebody's having a lovely summer party, I just thought, oh, someone's been murdered. That I liked, and I got a survey done. The survey came back and it meant nothing to me at all, but luckily I've got a friend who's a builder and he said, let me have a look at it, and I put it into layman's terms. I said, smashing. And it gives a cheer if you own your own home. It gives a cheer if you rent. See, up to this point I'd only ever rented, and I think there are phrases that mean nothing to those of us who rent that the rest of you understand, because my friend the builder said, there is one thing you will need. I said, oh yeah, what's that? He said, you'll need a damp-proof course. And I genuinely said, I haven't got time to go to college. But one of the things the house that I bought did have is a log burner. I've never had a log burner before. I got quite excited by the log burner. Not as excited as my fella did. He went, oh my God, we'll be able to get a toasting fork. We'll be able to toast things. And I thought, he does know I've got a toaster, doesn't he? But he went off to work. I went straight out and bought a toasting fork. I was too excited. I came back in with it. I grabbed a loaf of bread and I thought, I'm just going to sit in front and work my way through. Bloody love toast. Couldn't get it to work. I rang him and I said, I can't get it to work. He said, how can it not work? It's fire and bread. How can it not work? So I told him what I'd been doing. Turns out I should have had the little door open. I might as well have been lying slices of bread on top of my radiator. But when I moved, I had bits and bobs of furniture. Not much, but I had some stuff, and I was trying to work out what would best go where. And I said to me fella, God, I wish I had a tape measure. He said, what do you need a tape measure for? I said, I just want to know if that unit will fit in that alcove. He said, well, I'll sort that out for you. I said, have you got a tape measure? He said, no, it's just, I'm good at that sort of thing. I said, what do you mean? He says, just an instinct I've got. And first of all, I thought, rubbish. And then I thought, let's have a look. And I thought, this is quite a manly thing to be able to do. If he can do this, maybe we'll see what else slots where. So I said, go on, then do it. And this is what he did. It went exactly like this. You could at least got your cock out and done 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches.
I wouldn't go down on a man with a vagina. Or, absolutely not. All on a man. No. Because a man's vagina would be disgusting. Like, I think it's a good thing that most women are born with them because you look after stuff. Like men, no, thank you. No. People get so angry though, man. Like, I always used to say the LGBT community, and then someone threw a bottle at me for not saying LGBTQIA+. And it's like, mate, I'm on your team. I just didn't know. Like, I didn't miss you out deliberately. Give people some credit. You've named your community after a bloody Welsh village. I'm not going to get everything right first time. Like, also, does anyone know what the A stands for in LGBTQIA? The A, anyone? Asexual, yeah. Now that baffles me somewhat. Like, I don't understand why those people would want to be part of the same group, because that means at gay pride you've got people who are like, I'm not ashamed, I'm proud, I'm a man and I love men, you know. I'm a woman, I have sex with women. And then you've got these people at the back who are like, I want no part of this filth. Like, holding up a blank placard, like, nothing! We want nothing! And you're like, over there, that's a different march, isn't it? Surely. The problem with some sexist stereotypes, though, is that they're there for a reason, aren't they? Some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. For example, there's a stereotype that women can multitask and that men are just like, ha, the whole time. I think it's offensive to men more than anything. But some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. For example, why is it that you never hear about a woman who died wanking? It's exclusively a male method of death, isn't it? The rope around the neck and... Now, this makes no sense because women masturbate, we know this. Women have masturbated since the 1980s, of course. I believe it was the sinking of the Belgrano that finally got them going. Now, statistically, there must exist women that like to strangle themselves to increase the size of their orgasm, but you never hear about them because they don't die doing it. Women seem to be able to strangle themselves and masturbate at the same time. You know why? Because they can multitask, you see. And then it's like, ha! You're gonna die! Fuck it! Ha! And they die. So, some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. That's my point. But these stereotypes were obviously used in the past to kind of make life harder for women. But now, some people think maybe life is harder for men because of the whole Me Too movement. I don't know about that. But what I do know is that no man could deal with the Me Too hashtag. Like, no, not even the really woke, liberal good guys. Like, I've got a friend who's a real good guy, you know, like one of them. And he... he's always blogging about why we can't eat prawns or some nonsense. And... he's like, oh, this harassment stuff's terrible, isn't it? Oh, this harassment stuff, oh, makes you want to castrate yourself. What? That's what he said. Every man should just castrate himself. It's like, come on, mate, that's such a male response, isn't it? Because women still want to have sex, they just don't want to be harassed, right? So if women are like, hey, could you stop harassing us? And men go, oh, right, I see, well, I guess I don't need this anymore. Chop. Surely women are like, no, I still want to have sex, just more on my terms. But then we're like, no, those are your options. Either we can harass you or it's nothing. The species ends. Pick a team, Karen. Huh?
I like the mix of different people that we get in the UK. I don't agree with UKIP. UKIP say we've got too many foreigners in this country. I've done a bit of research on my own, and the fact is, there's actually a lot more foreigners in other countries. I agree with UKIP on the euro. I don't think we should get the euro. I think that would be bad for business. I mean, Poundland's buggered. I think we got it pretty good in the UK. Is what I think. But people still love to complain, innit? Are you all right? Nah, what's wrong? My phone battery died. Are you all right? Nah, I'm well stressed about what I'm gonna wear. Are you all right? Nah, I've got like irritable bowels. What? Do you think people complain about them sorts of things in countries where they don't have everything that we does? I mean, can you imagine the children in need appeal? I mean, you've got scenes all across Africa. You've got the cheesy charity music in the background. You've got Dean Gaffney looking emotional down the camera. Got an African child next to him. And Basie is just 12 years of age. And Basie is just another victim here in Africa. And Basie needs your help. And Basie... he's gluten intolerant. And if he attempts to eat rice or bread or certain types of muesli, he gets a slightly bloated feeling in his tummy. Please, give generously. £2 will allow Basie to buy some gluten-free hummus. to have the time he needs to regularly tweet about his condition. And £20 will mean Basie can make the life-changing visit he needs to Holland and Barrett. I've got to get going. I've got to get out of here. Yeah, I'm proper knackered, man. When you have a kid, whew, kiss goodbye to sleep. That is for sure, people. Last night, about 4 a.m, I'm spark out in my bed. I'm in there. Little boy comes into my room. Daddy! 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 Yeah. Can I come and sleep in your bed? I've wet my bed. Yeah, of course you can. In you come. I warn you, I've had too much to drink and I've done the same myself.
Whenever I talk about my Prosecco paunch, there's always a very specific laugh in the audience. I've learned to recognise it. It's just over there tonight. It's this. And I know what it is now. That is the laugh of a thin yoga woman. And I know what the laugh means. The laugh is like, that's funny, but I'd kill myself if I looked like you. But I promise you, there's advantages to having a Prosecco paunch. Make some noise if you got one. 2 female will laugh for the bodies in the room. Don't be shy, lads. I can see you, it's quite well lit. Let's try that again, we're all being honest about ourselves. Give us a cheer if you got a Prosecco paunch. Boys, boys, boys. The thing is, if you have a Prosecco paunch, there are advantages to it, right? 2 main ones I can think of. Number 1, I don't want to be crude, but I can take some hammer. Yeah, it's true. I can give you a list of names that can attest to that as well. Not surnames. Now, the other thing is my Prosecco paunch always gives me the greatest slice of joy, right? You know those 3 incredibly hot days we get that we pass off as the summer, right? I absolutely love those because that's when I get all my tanning done. I'm taking it very seriously. I go and get a chair from the kitchen. I go and put it slap bang in the middle of my garden, right? Because all the sun hits there. I've not got outdoor furniture. I'm not a Tory. So I pop it there. And then I get as naked as is legally possible. So I've got full spaniel's ears out. Smallest knickers I can find. You might be worrying about me now, because this is obviously filmed in London. I live in the countryside. I've not really got neighbours. I've got one lad who can see into my garden. He's depressed. He's not looking out his window for 3 weeks. We're fine, right? I also get very precious when I'm doing my tanning, right? Very precious. So what I'll do is I roll my knickers down as small as I can get them, because I'm like, I don't want tan lines, actually. I don't want tan lines. I've got a bush like a badger, but I don't want tan lines. It's got TV. I don't want tan lines. I'm not allowed near cows. So I lie there, drinking it in, and as I lie there, think to myself, you know what? I am going to get up, and I am going to go to the freezer, and I am going to treat myself to a 3rd Magnum of the day. Because I'm a special princess, and I do deserve it. Thank you. But all the people who are allowed ice cream up there in that one section. Lactose intolerant in the stalls. Closer to the toilets, it makes sense. So I'll decide I'm going to treat myself to that Magnum. And then I'll wait another 40 minutes till I can actually be asked to get up and get it. And then when I get up and get it, this is where my Prosecco paunch really steps up. Because as I stand up, I will hear the sound of my own gunt peeling off the top of my own leg. Yeah, don't go, Don't pretend you're not turned on. It's embarrassing. It's an incredible noise. It's like this. That's my mating call. It is. I just see a row of bald heads along the fence like that. It's just divorced dads who are like, is that low self-esteem I can hear? Do you want to come to Pizza Hut and be a mum for 2 hours?
I hated teaching. I know it's a brilliant, wonderful, noble profession, obviously, teaching. I hated it because I didn't want to do it. The only thing that got me through those years were children, because some of you parents will know, children are wonderful and weird. I used to teach a class in North London. You'll think I'm exaggerating this. I'm not. This is just one class I'm talking about. They were the strangest group of human beings I have ever seen assembled in one place, right? They were the strangest group of human beings ever in one. I include all of the series of Big Brother in that. Right, I'll talk you through some of them. There was a child called Marwood in that class, which isn't a real name, let's be honest. He was absolutely on a different planet to the rest of us. I'll prove it. I once said to him, Marwood, what are you going to do when you leave school? Straight away, he said, well, I'm going to be one of two things, sir. I'm going to be a gynaecologist or a train driver. I said, they're rather contrasting professions, Marwood. This is only funny if you believe me wasn't trying to be funny at this point. He went, yeah, they are, aren't they, sir? I suppose at the end of the day, I just like tunnels. Fortunately, there was a child in that class that made up for all of them. Her name was Karen Powell. She was my favourite student of all time. She was 11 years of age, this big, and had two fascinating characteristics. Number one, her internal compass was buggered, right? So she was 10 minutes late to every single lesson and the school wasn't that big. 10 minutes late. The second was, even though she was 11, she spoke, for reasons best known to our creator, like a repressed 1940s housewife. And you think I'm exaggerating this, I am not exaggerating it. She would come into my class like this, hello, sir, how are you today? I say, I'm fine, thanks, Karen, how are you? She goes, yes, I'm very well, thanks. I'm very much looking forward to today's improvisation. I'll give you an example of her compass. She came to see me after a lesson. This is all verbatim quote. She went, excuse me, sir, can I have a word with you, please? And of course you can, Karen. What's the problem? Because I just wanted to say that I thought my performance in your lesson today was a little below par. I said, really? I thought you were great. No, I thought my use of characterization was paper thin. Thought the way I moved around the space was appalling. And my group work was something to be condemned, and I would like to offer you my most humble of apologies. I said, you listen to me, Karen Powell. You never need to apologise to me. You are my favourite pupil because you make me laugh my head off. Now go outside and enjoy your lunchtime. You've deserved it. She said, you know what? I think I will. I turned round at that point to do a little bit of admin, ladies and gentlemen. Karen was then faced with a choice. She could leave my room via the only exit, or she could go into my costume cupboard. I don't know what happened, but for safety, I'll tell you this. I locked my costume cupboard before I went for my lunch, then I went away for a whole hour. When I came back, I opened the cupboard, and I swear to you, that child was standing with her back to me in a scene from the Diddy Man remake of the Blair Witch Project, just doing this. And I went, Karen? She went, hello, sir. I said, have you been in there for a whole hour? She said, I'm rather afraid I have. I said, oh my God, I am so sorry. She said, don't you apologise to me. I've only got myself to blame. I'll see you later.
The most sexually adventurous thing I ever did, I did it when I was single. When I was single, I ordered the #1 vibrator on the Love Honey website. And the Love Honey website is a sex toy website, for those of you pretending not to know. I kind of ordered it out of spite, right? Because one of my exes called me a prude, which I think is such an extreme thing to call someone. I don't think I did anything to warrant that. The only thing I can think of maybe is once I said that I don't like morning sex. That's not a big deal. That doesn't mean that I'm not sex positive. I just don't think you should do something that disgusting in the morning. Not whilst the blackbird is singing his morning tune. But I went on the website. It was late at night. I just ordered the first one on the list because I thought that will be good. That will probably be quite nice. The thing that arrived is so terrifying. It plugs directly into the wall. It has one of those on the end of it. It uses mains electricity. It needs to be pat tested. I just find that so threatening, because I think what that's basically saying is, what I'm about to do to you couldn't possibly be done with a battery. I'm gonna need that same stuff that powers your fridge. It's huge, it's bigger than this. It looks like a piece of farming equipment from the Industrial Revolution. But it's called a wand. There is nothing magical about it. I've never seen this type of vibrator before. All the vibrators that I've seen advertised online are very small and portable, and they're not making big claims. They're just happy to live in your bedside drawer, and they'll be there like, okay, girl, I'm here if you need me. Like, if you and your partner get, like, super, super drunk one night, maybe you could experiment with me for a little bit. Honestly, I might not do anything, but I might speed things along for you a little bit. Either way, no worries if not. Whereas my vibrator is just next to the bed like, do you want to meet God? Not really. It doesn't even fit in the bedside drawer. It's just curled up on the floor like a python. And after it arrived, I was like, is this the right thing? Because I checked on the website, because I thought maybe it got mixed up with like an order meant for Guantanamo Bay. It was the right thing. Not only that, I read the description for the first time. It said in the description, this is the world's most powerful vibrator. I don't think I need that. I need absolute max, a whisper on the wind. The world's most powerful vibrator. You shouldn't be able to buy that without a license. Underneath as well, it said, the vibrator will turn off automatically after 20 minutes for your safety. 21 minutes and there's a danger of death. I don't even want to share. It cost £90. So I felt like I had to try it because I spent so much money. And I don't even have a plug next to my bed. I had to get the extension cable. That felt desperate. I turned it onto the lowest setting. It had 8 settings. I turned it onto setting 1. It was so loud. I was like, there's nothing private about this experience. The neighbours are going to think I'm having a new kitchen put in. At midnight, they're going to call the council. Well, no, they're not calling anyone. They don't have any power right now. I tried it just for like 1, maybe 2 seconds, and I was like, I can smell burning. I can't use this thing. It's going to sand me down. It's going to erode. I'm going to be flat over. There'll be nothing left like Barbie. But it had 8 settings. I thought, I have to see what setting 8 does. Not on myself. I know my limits. I just turned it up to setting 8 in the sky. Fuck me. I was like, I'm going to rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
The cable was the more middle-class option. Yes, no, we don't want a satellite dish sticking out the side of our house. No, thank you. I think it looks really quite naff, yeah. Whereas the working class, the satellite dish was the key selling point. If you're paying £25 a month, you want your neighbours to know that you are better than them. And we had Sky through a dish, 1997. You could be watching old school Sky in the living room, watching it on the main TV, but you could also go upstairs to the bedroom TVs, turn to a certain channel and watch Sky in the bedroom, but only with the person in the living room was watching. I don't know the intrinsic technical explanation as to why this happened, but it just did. Saturday nights, me and my dad, I'm on the couch, he's in his chair, my mum's in bed, my brother's out with his pals, just me and the old man watching Match of the Day, watching the highlights. It gets to the kind of shite games, and I say, right, I think I'm going to go to bed, Dad. Good night. And he would continue the charade, and he'd say, are you off to bed, son? Good night. And there was that mutual father and son, we both know what the plan is here. I would casually exit the living room nice and slowly, good night, hit the hallway and race up the stairs. Don't even consider looking in the fridge, eyes on the prize. Upstairs, bedroom TV switched on, go to number 6. That's when you see what he's watching. TVs are synchronised. 6, we're in. He's in control. A few minutes go by and he's still watching Match of the Day. That's fine. Well, he must be giving it a few minutes. Don't want to make it too obvious. He's done this before. 5 minutes go by. He's still watching Match of the Day. I'm thinking, come on, stick to the plan, Andy. I'm looking at the bottom left of the screen, waiting for the numbers to get typed in. The numbers that could make or break the evening's entertainment. Go on, give me your numbers, Andy, come on. 9, that's a good start, 9. Could not have hoped for a better start than a 9 there. 0-5, the 10-minute Freeview. You're a dirty bastard, Dad, but I love you. So, we've got some celebrities in, as always, live at the Apollo. Who have we got? We've got the EastEnders cast. How are we doing, EastEnders? They're sitting right at the back. I don't mean the extras, I mean the real people. We're trying to get Phil Mitchell. No, where is he? He's up at King's Cross, dressed up as a ladyboy, trying to raise enough money to buy a pot noodle, isn't he?
Are any Welsh people out there? Tell them! Tell them how good it is now! Oh, it's not shit anymore! We spent millions, so it's not shit for you. That's the whole... Welsh people, where are you from? Swansea! Fair enough, it's shit. Yeah, quite fair. Yeah. I'm trying to explain that the place has improved and you lob Swansea in just to... Lucky Swansea's still a desperate dump, isn't it? Let's face it. Devoid of any hope whatsoever, Swansea. Have you been? There's a sign on the way in that says, kill our children, not your speed, isn't there? I'm talking about places like Cardiff and the places that have... Yes! These places have improved. We've had development money. We've done Cardiff Bay. Have you been there? Go there on holiday. It's lovely. We've done it all up. You've got cafes and bars. You've got the sea down there now. It's amazing. True, down where the shit was, that's all sea now, most of it. And it's going to be amazing when they finish it. Has anybody seen the posters of what Cardiff Bay is going to be like when it's all done? It's not. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be people chatting, laughing, texting. Welsh people, these are presumably. Having interesting conversations over dinner. We're all going to be a lot better looking by the time it's finished as well. You look out. Where they're going to get these people with fashionable glasses and teeth from in Cardiff, I got no idea. You've got to admire their optimism, haven't you? Fair play. Talking of optimism, you've got Cardiff Bay. I was there not long ago. Some of these restaurants, some of them have got tables outside. Al fresco dining in Cardiff. They're having a laugh on me. I tried to have a Twix at a bus stop in Wales a few years ago. It was too wet to eat, to be honest with you. Everybody's pretending it's Madrid. Come on, we'll sit outside. Your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it, for Christ's sake. Stop raining! You never get past your starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater. You give up. It's true, your gin and tonic's overflowing. The little umbrella's blown inside out. Turn it back into the wind. Turn it back into the wind. As waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the table. Spaghetti carbonara, spaghetti carbonara. Sure, I'll get another one, I'll get another one. As people throw in life buoys to their bread rolls. I'll pull you in, I'll pull you in. Peas being airlifted to safety. Oh, Wales is improving, even the valleys. Go to the valleys on holiday, even the valleys. They are, shut your face, they're getting better. They're getting better, the Welsh. I did a gig in Pontypridd, in the Welsh valleys. Were you there at the gig I did when there was a piece of sun-dried tomato on the stage? Not bullshit, in a real piece of sun-dried tomato. We couldn't even do the gig, everybody was just staring at it. I couldn't get them back. I couldn't get their attention. That's not local to your area, is it? The sun-dried tomato. Hey, there was a pile-up in the valleys a few years ago because somebody mentioned satsumas. Did you read about that? Somebody's trod in that, haven't they? That's what's happened. Do you live here now, madam? Do you live here? Are you from the valleys?
My boyfriend is from the valleys.
Your boyfriend? It was probably him that trod in the sun-dried tomato and dragged it all the way back. That's what he probably stepped in the sun-dried tomato in London and took it all the way back to the... He must have been shitting himself on the way back. They'll kill you for that in Pontypridd, won't they? Get it off me, they're gonna kill me, they're gonna kill me. Ditch the shoe, ditch the shoe.
I just celebrated 9 years of marriage just the other day. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. 9 years married to the same person. Jesus Christ, man. Listen, man, I'm just glad I'm no longer dating. I'm glad. Because dating right now is the ghetto. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not easy to date. And you know what? The thing about dating is every time I see someone out, I'm like, how are you affording this? You know what I'm saying? It's a cost of living crisis. When I see people out eating food, I'm just like, I don't know how you're doing this. Even I'm on TV, and I still take my wife to the local chip shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you're not getting this Taskmaster money. No. Nah, man. The dating. Back in the day, I used to get rejected a lot because I'm short. You know what I'm saying? Short guys, yeah, we don't get no love, man. Short guys. I'll be on the phone talking to girls, and I'll be like, you know, yeah, babes, I want to take you out. She'll be like, oh my God, how tall are you? I'll be like, yeah, I'm 5 foot. Hello? Hello? I am happy. I am married, and I've got 2 wonderful children. Me and my wife got 2 beautiful children, 8 and 1, right? Now, the 8-year-old, that's a boy, right? And my boy is crazy. Make some noise if you got sons in the building, make some noise. So you know what I'm talking about. Boys are crazy, right? It's not just me. Have you ever just looked at your boy and been like, what the hell are you doing? Every day, all right? My son is obsessed with superheroes. He loves superheroes, right? Which is a bit weird in our household because we're like devout Christians, like especially my wife. We love going to church, right? My wife is definitely getting into heaven, 100%. Like, hopefully, I'm her +1. I hope, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm with her. No? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I bring that up is because last year, Halloween, my son, he wanted to go trick-or-treating, right? Which is a bit weird in our household. Again, we're Christians. And he was just like, Mom, I want to dress up as a superhero. And my wife was just like, there is no superhero in this house other than Jesus Christ. So she dressed him for Halloween as Jesus Christ. This guy went out trick-or-treating, giving out bread and wine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you too. Oh, God bless you. One day, me and my son, we were at home. We're by ourselves, right? I'm downstairs, I'm watching TV. My son is upstairs, right? He's doing whatever he's doing, right? And it got silent. And you guys know what happens when it goes silent with a child. It means they're doing something they should not be doing, right? And then out of nowhere, I hear a loud thud, just boom. I'm like, oh God, what's that? And then my son's just like, Daddy! So I run to the hallway, and my son is standing at the top of the staircase, dressed in a DIY superhero outfit, right? And he's just standing there, he's like, look, Dad, I'm a superhero. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, son, you might want to take that off before your mum comes home, all right? And he's just like, no, Dad, look, I can fly. And as soon as he said that, I'm not gonna lie, it got slow motion in my house. I was like, no. And my son was like, a part of me was just like, let me let him fly so he can break his legs, you know what I'm saying, and calm down.
I read this thing, right, online, so it must be true, where everyone who's under the age of 30 is gonna live till 160. Like, you look tired now. 160? I don't want to be sat in a flat, leaking, liver spotted. Your ears and nose, they never stop growing. I'm gonna be sat there looking like I work at bloody Gringotts Bank, just like, And I think if I get to 160, I'm ending it. I don't know how you do it. What are you gonna do? Sort of suffocate yourself with a bag for life? I back in the best way, and maybe be like a toaster in a bath situation, but it'd be one of those like sit-down baths with a chair and a door, and then you have to wait for it all to fill up. You put in a bit of matey for a last bit of luxury, and then you go, oh shit, I forgot the toaster, and then you have to wait for it all to drain. You open the door, you go out onto the landing, down a stair lift, into the kitchen, you go, what the bloody hell have I come in here for? It's never gonna happen. I'm trying to do more nice things, though. That's what I'm trying to do. Because I've never really done anything with my life. I did a thing recently. I went to go and give blood for the first time. Has anyone ever done that? It's just one woman like, yeah, I did it today. It's amazing, but I thought you did it in like a hospital or like a sanitised medical centre. You don't. You do it in like a rugby club or like a methadone church, right? I turned up to this bingo hall near my nan's house, right? I was greeted by the second moodiest person I've ever seen in my life. It was a woman called Linda. Like, her name badge said Jean, but she looked like a Linda. Do you know what I mean? Like short bob, gelled fringe, good at darts. She weren't happy. She weren't. I turned up, she goes, have you got an appointment? And I went, no. And she goes, have you filled out a form? And I went, no. And then she threw this form at me, and as I'm walking off, she goes, thank you very much for giving blood. We really appreciate it. Giving blood is the greatest gift anyone could ever receive. And I'm thinking, Linda's never been given a slow cooker. So, take this form, I start filling it out. I had to use this woman's eyeliner because Linda wouldn't lend me a pen. Just filling it all out. And as I said, the only reason I went to go and give blood is make myself feel like I'd done something with my life. And instead, I'm faced with all these very serious adult questions. It was things like, have you ever been to Africa? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a man? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a prostitute? And I thought, I've done fucking nothing with my life. Nothing. Have you injected drugs? Have you smoked drugs? Have you had any treatments in the last 6 months? I panicked. I went, oh, well, me and my mum have had facials off Groupon. Not the right answer. Weirdest question, are you HIV positive? I was like, what? Like, no. Like, if anything, I'm against it. And then they took me off into this room, and there's all these sort of like Sharons and Johns lay on beds with sort of needles in their arms. Like, it looked like a spa day for smackheads. Put a belt round my arm, not even a nice belt. They spanked it a bit, they told me to relax, and then they whipped out the biggest flipping needle I've ever seen in my life, and I just fainted. Completely fainted. I can hear all these muffled voices, and then I can hear Linda's bellowing voice just going, I knew he'd be a fainter. I'm like... By the time I'd come around, all these people are trying to help me out, and Linda just parted them. And her way of trying to make me feel better, her way of trying to make me feel like a proper grown-up was going, would you like a glass of orange juice and a biscuit? I was like, no, Linda, I want to have sex with an African gay man for money. That's what I want to bloody do.
But I've got Sky TV now, which is excellent. You can pause live TV, just pause it. The people at home now can just pause it, and it's a perfect pause. Not the old sort of 1980s VHS pause. That was a very different story, wasn't it? You couldn't even see what you were watching in 1980s pause. People who weren't moving would start moving. Wasn't even moving in this scene. People in paintings would come to life. I'm in a painting! But then once you pause it, it's quite exciting because you can watch it back at like ×2 or ×6 or ×12 or ×30, which makes boring programs quite entertaining. Like at the tennis, you can forward the changeovers. Watching Andy Murray eating a banana in ×12 is quite exciting. I watched Deal or No Deal in ×30. It really whizzes along. I watch all TV. I watch TV just to slag it off, to be honest. Dragon's Den winds me right up. I know you're rich, dragons. You don't need to bring your cash with you. They sit there with cash on their tables. I'm so tremendously wealthy, all my bank accounts are full. I've had to bring additional funds with me tonight. What about you, Theopathitis? Have you got money on your table? Oh, I'm completely loaded. I've thrown money up onto my table, that's every time. What about you two dragons? Oh yes, you've got a lot of cash here. All right, bring in the first poor person, let's see what they've got. They come in trembling. Hello, dragons. Please, can some cash for the ideas in my brain.
I feel sick just looking at poor people. Look at the state of her clothing. For that reason, I'm out. What about you, Theopathy? Are you out? I will be out, but I'm going to humiliate the bitch for 15 minutes. Then I will declare that I too am out. I'd like to go on Dragon's Den with a shotgun. Just stand there, pointing it at each of them individually, till one of them goes, so what's your idea? Quite simple, put that cash in this bag, all right? You get no equity. I like some TV. I watch it till the bitter end, literally like the early hours of the morning, till the signing zone, the death zone. That's when you know it's probably time for bed, you know? And there's somebody in the corner signing. You feel a bit like, this isn't really for me. They almost look at you like, come on, you could have watched this in the day. It's probably bedtime for you. Deaf people have been asleep all day to stay up for this. Have some respect. I like it when there's no dialogue in the show and they watch TV with you. The other day I was watching the Blue Planet or something. This is a show with David Attenborough where they discover creatures from the depths of the ocean for the very first time. Literally fish that were only just discovered, and they were naming them on the show. So he was going, here we have the newly discovered Diplodocus. And the signing guy was going... He resorted to impersonating the fish. It was hilarious. The fish was swimming, he was just underneath going...
I've got the memory of an elephant. I remember one time I went to the zoo and saw an elephant. I was disappointed to find that Dunkirk wasn't actually a biography of William Shatner. I accidentally kicked my dog early and it bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said, no, if anything, it's even more angry. I tell you what always catches my eye, short people with umbrellas. I put on a lot of weight, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency, can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can, we got loads of them. I was actually thrown out of Weight Watchers for making sarcastic comments at the weekly weigh-in. As you can imagine, I accepted the decision with huge grace, because they threw her out as well. I was watching TV, the announcer said there's a documentary about the clitoris on the red button, but I couldn't find it. I was in a fancy lingerie shop. I said, are these knickers satin? He said, no, they're new. I didn't know what to get my little niece for Christmas, so I asked my sister what she's into. Apparently, at the moment, she's mad about frozen stuff, so I got her some oven chips and peas. It's been a tough week. I got myself a memory foam mattress, and now it's trying to blackmail me. As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. You would be. And it was half empty. The area in a Nando's between the front and back door is called the peri-perineum. What I like most about that joke is that people who know what a perineum is usually haven't heard of Nando's. Ironically, there's only a very small overlap between the two.
The doctor told me to lose some weight. I said, how? He said, don't eat anything fatty. I said, what, pies, chips, that sort of thing? He said, no, just don't eat anything fatty. Old lady names are very much back in fashion at the minute, like Lily or Elsie or Rose, and we wanted something like that for our daughter, but we couldn't decide, so in the end we just called her Nan. So we shall grow into it.